Hey everybody, it's A15 Sports Podcast, Jake and Cole. Today we're going to be doing our Week 6 NFL picks, and we're going to talk a little bit about college football at the end and the unnecessary roughness penalties from last weekend that really changed the outcome of one game and
Well, it's
was,
changed the whole dynamic of football.
yeah, I agree. And then the one that happened on Derek Carr with Chris Jones getting that fumble. But I don't know. I think at some point they're probably just going to have to start playing two-hand touch or just not being allowed to tackle the quarterback.
Or touch him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's getting bad. I mean, I'm still going to watch. I'm sure you're still going to watch, but it is upsetting, especially if you're the team that's getting a stop on defense and the referees are handing you a first down.
Yeah.
So
Atlanta. It was Atlanta, right? They got screwed in the Buccaneers game. I mean, they might not win that game, but at least they get the ball back and get a chance.
yeah, because it was 21-15 at the time, and they had the momentum.
I mean, it was midfield, so they were going to punt, and they were probably
Yeah.
going to pin them deep, so they were going to have to go the length of the field. But
You never
we've
know.
seen stranger things.
Yeah, you never know. So, and a funny thing about that, just today, Tom Brady got fined almost $12,000 for kicking the guy that got an unnecessary roughness penalty.
I can't believe the league fined him.
So maybe Brady should have gotten the unnecessary roughness penalty. I didn't even know about that until today. But
I didn't either till you told me.
yeah, so it is what it is. The league favors quarterbacks and especially Brady.
And I get it. They probably need to favor quarterbacks because whether you like it or not, they are probably most times who win you a lot of your games. I know defense makes plays, and the defense is a lot of reasons why you win too, but your quarterback is probably number one, and he should be protected. But some of these calls are just awful.
Yeah. The guy didn't do nothing wrong against Brady. Sorry, he didn't. And Chris Jones had the ball. What else is he supposed to do? Stop gravity and not fall?
I think what I would like to see implemented is letting a coach challenge stuff like that. Like, because what I hate seeing is when they bring on Mike Pereira or those guys that used to do it, or whatever his name is, that talk during the game and say, oh, how it shouldn't be called and it's a bad call. Well, why not let that be, like in game-changing calls like that, why not be able to challenge it and call and get outside help? Because these refs only get to see this play once.
Mhm.
So they don't get to review it. So if somebody throws a flag, you're not going to tell that guy, hey, you know, because you're basically calling him out.
So like targeting in college football?
Yeah, you're calling that ref out for making a bad call, and they don't like to do that to each other, which I don't blame them. But this stuff's got to stop.
Yeah.
Because it's, and then the ones that aren't called, like Tua, when Tua got his concussion in Cincinnati, he was slammed. That's the hardest I've seen a quarterback slammed in a while. That's not fucking roughing the passer, but that is. And I wasn't even that mad that it wasn't called because I'm old school, so I get quarterbacks have to be that have to take hits. But now seeing what's been called, it wasn't that should have been flagged, and then we get the ball at the 30-yard line, and maybe we don't punt. Who knows?
Yeah, but it needs to be fixed, especially before the playoffs start, and it's looking like it's not going to, according to what.
They said they're going to stick to their guns, and it's
So.
And what do you like? You said, what are you supposed to tell a 300-pound lineman? Oh, hey, you just have to stop and put your hands up like this. Like, you can't touch me.
Yeah.
So if that's it, then the play's dead, and that quarterback is sacked.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Or the first play of the Kansas City game, maybe not the first play, but on the first drive for the Raiders, he just wrapped him up and didn't do anything with him. He just hugged him.
And the thing is a lot of times when you sack a quarterback, he fumbles, and then you get the ball. So you can't there's just so many intangibles that go into it. You can't just rule you can't rule the play dead, but you can't go low on a quarterback, you can't go high on a quarterback. You basically have to tackle him from what? Your chest?
To about your thigh?
Maybe, because if you go to your knee, I mean, that's pretty. I think they consider that low.
That can be a flag, yeah. And it depends on the quarterback you're hitting, because
it absolutely.
You see, Fields took a shot to the knee last night, and it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
But if that would have happened to Brady or Rodgers or probably Mahomes or Josh Allen, the list goes on, it probably would have been a penalty. Like we saw all the hits that Joe Burrow took his rookie year.
Well,
it definitely probably would have been a penalty for another quarterback who just has more established in the league.
And look, since we're talking on this right now, let's throw in the concussion bullcrap going on right now, because you can't tell me, look, I didn't want Justin Fields to come out of the game. I didn't think he needed to come out of the game. He got up and he looked fine. But how is that any different from Teddy Bridgewater in the Jets game? He got up faster than Justin Fields, and he didn't even make movements that he was hurt.
Yeah.
And somebody said, hey, we seen him stumble. This is, it's getting out of hand. And I don't know why you implement a rule in week 6 of the season when you don't what do you think is going to happen? Of course there's going to be flaws. You implemented it right during the maybe a little bit closer to halfway of the season. It's crazy. And then now they're saying Teddy doesn't have it. A lot of people reported that he didn't even have a concussion, but then why is he in concussion protocol?
I don't know. I'm all for player safety, and I think the NFL is doing a lot to try to cover themselves up for what happened with Tua, and they just don't want to be liable for it.
So it all started when Tua got hit in the Buffalo game. Everybody thought it was a concussion. Well, it turns out apparently what the Dolphins are saying, and the NFL doctor, because a lot of people don't know this, but at every NFL game, there is an NFL doctor hired by the NFL that is above your team doctor. So when you do go in that back tent or you do go underneath, that doctor sees you at the same time as your team doctor. So if he clears you, then the team you play for can clear you. So you have to get cleared twice. So that happened. And then after the game, they said that it was his lower back.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't even rule it a concussion. But everyone, of course, all the Twitter doctors says it's a concussion. Yeah. Because that's what Twitter is. I love it, but it's a joke too at times. Then the next week in the Cincinnati game, he gets absolutely tossed like a rag doll to the floor. Now that is 1,000% a concussion. But the people that are saying he shouldn't have been allowed to come back in, had to be seen by 6 or 7 different people down there. And he wanted to come back in, and they're not. I don't think the Dolphins put him in harm's way in the Buffalo game. I think he was fine. Now in the Cincinnati game, he was hurt. Obviously, you could see that.
Yeah, everybody could see that.
But
anyways, we'll get to our week 6 picks here. So we'll talk first about the Niners.
That is what's going around. That's going around in the NFL now, so it's a hot topic.
It is a hot topic.
Very.
Every week. Jake, you get them started. 49ers and Atlanta. Who you got?
Oh, that game's in London. Oh, shit. I'm going to take the Niners.
I'm also taking the Niners. So right now, me and Jake 1-1. Pats, Browns. Who you got?
I'll take Cleveland.
I also got Cleveland. I think Nick Chubb's going to have another big week. He's an absolute stud. And just saying, the Browns get Watson back the next time they play.
Who?
The Browns. They get Watson back.
I thought it was week 11.
No, he's been. I thought he comes back next week.
Not Watson.
All right.
I think it's week. Yeah, because I know that the Dolphins play the Browns in Miami, and he's going to miss that game.
Okay. So, Hopkins comes back for sure the next time they play. So, I got it mixed up. My bad.
That's all right.
All right. Jets, Packers. I got Green Bay. We got.
Same.
I don't think Green Bay is going to lose 2 in a row. They better come out and rebound. The coaching staff did a piss poor job last Sunday. Up 20-10 at halftime. He scored no points in the second half. The only reason we scored points because the Giants took a safety. We should not be a pass-first team anymore. It's not right now. It should be the A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones show. The fact that they didn't get 20 combined touches last week is absolutely embarrassing.
So you're telling me to take the under in Rodgers in yards?
I think they should run the hell out of the ball. What's it at?
I think it's in the high 200s.
I would take the under. He didn't even throw for 300 last week, and he passed 30 times.
The Jets. Listen, the final score of that Dolphin-Jets game does not show what it was till about the 10-minute mark. The Dolphins missed a 50. It was like a 49 or 51, something like that, long field goal. And they were only down 2, so they go up 1. We missed, obviously. I would have punted and pinned them deep. There was 11 minutes left. You're going to get the ball back. Even if they go down and kick a field goal, you're down 5. We didn't. They went down and scored. Okay, then you're down 9. Well, then he comes back and Skylar gets sacked and they fumble and they recover it and run it to the 8. So the game's over then. So I think I think the Packers roll. I think it's probably going to be a game till end of the first, maybe half. I don't see any way that they lose this game at home. It would almost be if there was a lock this week, it would be my lock.
Anytime I say lock, it doesn't happen.
I hate
so I'm
the
not
fucking
saying a
Jets.
lock.
The Jets win one goddamn game, and this is their first division win in like the last 3 years.
They were mocking the Dolphins a lot. I don't know if you saw that.
First division win the last 3 years, and they act like all they do is win and beat the division. They've sucked since they had Rex Ryan, and they had 1 or 2 good years with him with butt fumble and Mark Sanchez. So this is my lock would be Green Bay over the Jets. I don't care if it's by 1, if it's a game-winning field goal like it was when they beat the Patriots. I don't care. These people that think teams should kill people, you got to remember these professional athletes. They're the best at what they do. So I think the Packers roll. I do think they roll.
I think the Packers rush for over 125
In fact,
yards.
I think they win by two or three scores. Like, I don't even think it's close. The Jets are that bad. The Packers have a good defense, and I know because I watch them a lot.
They do have a good defense, but it's yet to completely show, and I blame that a lot on our defensive coordinator.
They will feast off of Zach Wilson because he's like Justin Fields. He takes a long time to make his mind up.
And Rashawn Gary is dealing with a toe injury, but he's likely to play. So hopefully that doesn't get any worse because he is dominating this year. And he had a couple sacks on Sunday, which really affected us were those dumb penalties that we did. One of them was Douglas. We got back-to-back sacks, I think, on third down. And there was something that happened in the secondary. It was like illegal touching or something. Holding, and they got a first down and 5 yards, and that just kept him going. Obviously, Barkley had a great game. He's balling out this year. But either way, that was just a really disappointing loss, and it just sucks altogether. So I'm glad that we're back at home, and hopefully we win this game.
Because next week is brutal. Isn't that in Buffalo?
Yeah. We got, and then after that we got Washington.
You have to go. You can't lose this game.
No, we can't.
Because then you're going to be 3-4 going home to play Washington. Which they're not going to lose. It's my lock. I bet.
Who knows? There's a lot of Packers need to win, or it's going to be complete panic mode.
But New England did go in there with a second rounder, second string quarterback.
Their second string, and then he got hurt, and then they were at their third string.
So they went in there with a third string quarterback and almost won. So I'm not saying it's not impossible, but that's my lock.
All right.
I think the Packers are.
So we got the Packers. All right, on to the next one. Jacksonville, Indy. Obviously, Jacksonville dominated the first time around. This game's in Indianapolis, and they got Jonathan Taylor back. Jake, what are you doing?
Well, this game to me is one of the most intriguing games this week because everybody thought Jacksonville was like trending up, and everyone thought Indianapolis was bad. Well, then Indy goes ahead and beats.
They still look bad.
They do.
They looked really bad in that Thursday night game.
Indy goes ahead and beats Kansas City. Crazy. Yeah. You squeak one out the goal line in Denver. Well, they did.
I know. It was just a joke of a game.
It was terrible.
So was last night's, but
I don't know. I always lean towards the home team, always in games like this. Who do you got?
I'm taking Indianapolis because it's at home. But honestly, Indianapolis is without two of their best defensive players. But I don't think there's any way that Jonathan Taylor gets 20 rushes again and only runs for like 40 yards.
All right, I'm going to take the Colts because they're at home. And they've surprised me in both of their wins. So.
And Alec Pierce is starting to look good, so I like it, Indy. Give me the Colts. All right. Vikings, Miami. Jake?
Skull.
I also had the Vikings. But I'm hoping Miami wins because if things start going south, the Vikings are really going to pull away from us.
Look, I don't know how people expect the Dolphins to win this game with a third-string quarterback. And look, there's no excuses. Like, okay, that's who's got to be our quarterback. We got to go out and play. But you have a third-string quarterback that don't have many reps. I don't care that he's had a full week with the team.
Is Armstead playing?
He is a game-time decision.
No, that could loom big.
But, I mean, you do have Tyreek Hill. You do have Jalen Waddle. You do have Raheem Munster. You do have Xavier Howard back. You do have Javon. You do have a lot of your studs playing. If the Dolphins win, it wouldn't be – I don't think it would be as big as a win as other people think because I think their defense is good enough to get a takeaway. They've shown over the last 3 years with the same defense. I believe Skylar Thompson is good enough to throw it 5 yards to Tyreek Hill and him run 80 yards for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Or Waddle.
Or Waddle. So I think the Dolphins have the weapons to win, but Minnesota absolutely has the weapons to win too, and Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
I don't really think Adam Thielen's.
They've just been force feeding
they haven't
Jefferson
been
the ball.
Yeah, I don't like.
But you never know what you're going to get out of Kirk Cousins. We saw what he looked like on Monday night
yeah.
against Philly. You never know what you're going to get. So if he comes out and looks god awful, then it could be Miami's game to
And
lose.
the Dolphins are good at home.
So you never know.
It's gonna be hot, and they're good at home. They're really good at home. It just sucks that you're on your third. You're not even on your backup. You're on your backup. So like,
but who knows? Maybe he has a good game. I mean, you never know. These things happen.
If they can start out, if they win this game,
and you probably get Tua back next week.
You get Tua back on Sunday Night Football.
Who do they play
versus Pittsburgh?
Night? Oh, that should be a win. I mean, Pittsburgh's terrible.
So they have a chance to be 5-2 after Sunday night, which is probably going to be one of the best records in the league. Besides the Eagles, but I don't see him when I see him. I see him beating Pittsburgh, even if they have Skylar Thompson. I see them beating Pittsburgh at home, but I just don't know. I don't know about this week.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough because Minnesota's good, but Minnesota's also one of those teams that implode. I mean, they've had the same team for how long? I mean, how long's Kirk Cousins been there?
I want to say since 19.
So that was the first year. That was the Minneapolis Miracle.
No,
right?
No, that was the year before that. No, that was Keenum.
So I mean, they're just always a formidable. They play a lot of times. They play what's the word I'm thinking of?
Complementary football.
They do play that a lot, but you also can get bad Viking football, and I'm for our sake. We have to hope we get bad Viking football.
Yeah, could. I mean, they played well. Oh, now wait a minute. What? Never mind.
If the Dolphins create one turnover, and Skylar Thompson doesn't throw an interception, I think they win the game. But those two things have to happen. They have to create a turnover defensively, and
Kirk Cousins will throw one pick. I guarantee it.
With Xavier Howard back, hopefully it's to him.
If I had a lock, it would be Kirk Cousins throwing a pick in this game, because he normally throws at least one pick. So we'll see. On to Cincinnati at New Orleans. I got Cincinnati. New Orleans doesn't have Mike Thomas. They got Andy Dalton starting at quarterback, which
do you really
could be better.
Do you really like how Cincinnati's been playing? They haven't been playing good at all.
No, I don't. But at some point, I think they got to get over the hump.
I mean, yeah, it's week 6. I mean, when are you going to get over the hump?
The Packers are sitting 3-2.
I'll take the Bengals.
I got Cincinnati.
I think they got too much firepower. I think if it's a shootout, I like Joe Burrow over
Andy
Dalton.
Yeah. I mean, at some point they got to have a good week. I would think.
Maybe the Super Bowl hangover is real.
Yeah. Well,
maybe it is real.
Maybe last year was a fluke.
Both teams are doing awful, right?
Yeah. Maybe it was a fluke for both teams.
They have weapons though. Both of these teams have weapons and decent quarterbacks. I don't get it. But anyways,
I think Burrow's worried about getting hit all the time. Anyways, Baltimore at New York. The Giants. I got Baltimore.
Okay, now this is another intriguing game because everything leans towards Baltimore, like everything. But they just always find a way to lose. They easily could be undefeated. And what are they? Are they 3-2 too?
I think they're 3-2.
And they're 3-2, and 2 of their losses have been wins that they should have had versus Buffalo and the Dolphins. And if Barkley goes wild, who knows? I'm going to take Baltimore, but I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I really do.
I like Baltimore minus 2.5.
That's the spread?
I'm not sure if that's a spread, but I'm just saying. I like them by at least a field goal.
If that's the spread, that's crazy. It's got to be more than 2.5.
I don't know. I'd look, but I don't have the app. So up next, we got Tom Brady against Kenny Pickett. I got Tom Brady in the Bucs.
Going to be a game.
I got the Bucs, and I think the Bucs might win by 3 touchdowns.
Sorry to my Steeler fans, but I got Tampa. But Pittsburgh's at home. Stranger things have happened, but Tampa. All right, so here's the spread. Vikings somehow are only favored by 3. I think that's blasphemous. I think they're being really generous to the Dolphins.
So you'd take the Vikings minus 3?
I would take the Vikings in a heartbeat to cover the spread. 49ers 4.5. I'd take them to cover. Bengals 3. I'd take them to cover. I would also take the Buccaneers at 9.5-point favorites. I think the Steelers are that bad and
They
Tampa's
are
that
bad
good.
this year.
Well, the Colts are only favored by 2.5.
I don't know.
That's a close one. Packers are favored by 7.5. I would take that.
I would not.
I would. The Packers are those. Don't let those 3-2 records fool you.
I would not take it.
Brian?
That's just me.
Browns are only 2.5-point favorites at home versus a backup quarterback. And what is it?
The Browns could easily be undefeated
quarterback.
this year. Bailey
Patriots.
Zappi.
Who?
Bailey Zappi. That's the guy that came in and almost. Okay, well he didn't.
That's who's starting.
Yeah, that's
who
starting.
Who in the fudge is that?
Where'd
he come from?
I have no idea.
Oh, I got Browns to cover that by like 3 touchdowns. Sorry. No way. Is Bailey Zapp? Do you know where he's from?
No.
We got to look this up. How do you spell his name?
Bailey and then Zay. Yeah, there it is. Number 3 on Google. Where do you go to school?
I don't know, but this guy looks like
Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I got Browns in a landslide. And the Ravens are favored by 5.5. Cardinals 2.5 point favorites on the road. Rams are 10-point favorites at home over Carolina. And
well, Carolina's backup's going to be playing. Who knows? He might be better than Baker.
What is up with all these backups? What happened to Baker?
He something hurt his ankle last week.
Oh, jeez.
Don't matter. Baker's been playing awful.
Now, how are the Bills favored by 3 at Kansas City?
Because everybody in the world thinks they're the best team in the NFL. The media definitely does.
That should be a pick 'em. Eagles are 6.5-point favorites at home versus Cowboys.
I like the Cowboys plus 6.5.
Chargers 4.5. So that's the spreads. So now we can get back to
we're at Carolina and the Rams.
Oh yeah,
I got the Rams.
I got Rams in every statistical category.
Arizona at Seattle. Now Geno's been balling, and I really wanted to take Geno in this game, but I'm an OU guy, so I'm taking Kyler.
I think it could be a lot better of a game than you. It's just for some reason it's just hard to win at Seattle. They have the best fans in the NFL. They don't shut up. It would be so annoying to be an opposing fan to go to that game. They're the loudest fans in the NFL. It's a hard place. It's a very hard place to play at.
Now,
but I'll take Arizona just because I think Kyler Murray is better than Geno Smith.
I'm also going to take Kyler. But one thing I want to say here is I think if we're just looking right now, I'm not looking down the road, but the trade that Seattle made with Denver, it looks like Seattle won that trade because Geno's been playing significantly better than Wilson, and they got all those picks back. So Seattle, I think, made the right choice. And actually, Pete Carroll's let Geno throw the ball more than he let Russ throw the ball.
I just feel that when you take somebody out of something that they've been in for so long, like that system, that place, like it's just hard to adapt, even if you have a whole offseason. I mean, I know this is a totally different sport and a totally different thing, but look at all the Cubs and what they did when they left Chicago. I mean, besides Anthony Rizzo, they're all they're just kind of nobodies.
And Bryant's always hurt.
Can't stay healthy. Baez looked like a magic man in Chicago, and now he just can't play. When you take somebody out of a system that they've been in for so long, like how long was he in Seattle? I mean, he got drafted in 2011, right? So a decade. I mean, the Cubs were with each other for probably 6 or 7 years, maybe 8. That's a long time in a system, in a place where you're used to magical things happening at Wrigley. You're used to magical things happening at Seattle. It's just different when you leave. And that's what I think. I think Russell Wilson is seeing that. It's just different. And
sometimes the grass isn't always greener.
No, it's not.
And I could say the same thing for Devontae Adams wanting to leave, but I understood why he wanted to leave, to be closer to his family.
Yeah. So we'll move on.
We'll move on. Buffalo, Kansas City.
Okay, game of the week.
Maybe
game of the year.
Could be if it's like that playoff game last year.
I see two. I see two outcomes. You might think this might not happen. Who knows? I'm not a mind reader. I think that either Kansas City wins in a very close game, or I think Buffalo smokes them. I think Buffalo goes in Arrowhead and smokes them, or I think it's a close Kansas City win. I don't think Kansas City smokes Buffalo.
No, I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Kansas City in a close game.
That's the first game that I think Jake and I have disagreed on. And we're going to keep track of our picks from here on out to see who finishes with the better record at the end of the year.
We kind of think a lot of alike. We think a lot of alike. Like this is a pickup. This is a toss up. Like heads or tails. Like he must have got tails and I got heads, and that's why I'm going. I'm going with Kansas City because they're home. I like Patrick Mahomes just as much as I like Josh. I actually hate Josh Allen, but he's the best probably the second best quarterback in the league. So I respect him for that. But I got Kansas City in a close game, like maybe 38-35. Like maybe 30.
The over's 54.
Well, that would be over.
I would take the over.
So you got Buffalo.
The reason I got Buffalo is because of what happened to them last year, and how they're coming out with a vengeance and want revenge, this, that, and the other. I think they're going to come out. I think they're going to come out and just dominate this game.
So you think Buffalo?
And I think they're going to meet again in the playoffs.
Like Buffalo, you got Buffalo in a blowout.
I got Buffalo by 10.
That is a little crazy, but I did say that's two of the things that can happen, and you're taking it. So I think that. Okay,
I don't think
you can't really say that
Buffalo.
I don't really think you can say that Buffalo's played that well this year, though.
Well, they definitely look good week one.
They went down to Miami banged up, but it was perfect weather. Cry about the 85 degrees. I mean, Jesus, that's not even that hot. 85. And then they go up to Baltimore and play in a little rain, where Buffalo's used to playing in snowstorms. And Baltimore, because John Harbaugh made the worst coaching decision that you will make all year and didn't take the fucking points, they lose that game because of Harbaugh. So Buffalo hasn't necessarily on the road impressed me. So I'm hoping that trend continues, and I'm hoping Arrowhead is the loudest stadium this weekend and they can't hear.
I will say it's very hard to play in any rain, especially in the offense that Buffalo tries to use. Pass-first offense, and then you use the sticky gloves when it's raining. It's very hard to pass the ball.
What are you going to do?
Then you got to run the ball. You got to come up with something else. But they found a way to win, and here we are.
What happened in 2007 in the Super Bowl in Miami? The Bears and the Colts. It poured. And, they didn't postpone the game. Well,
you're not going to postpone it for rain, but I'm just saying that was Buffalo's strength. They still found a way to win.
They did. They found a way to win.
The Ravens like to find ways to lose.
They do. The Ravens are kind of – who else is like that? The Ravens –
Well, Green Bay so far. They found a way to lose.
I wouldn't go as far as saying that. That was one game. I say the Ravens are the Vikings of both conferences. They both find ways to lose games because they're both normally pretty solid teams, and they both find ways to lose games.
I would say the only difference between Baltimore and Minnesota is Baltimore has a better quarterback and a better kicker.
Oh, absolutely.
But give me the position players on the Vikings.
Oh, for sure.
So, with that being said, we're going to head to Dallas, Philly, Sunday Night Football. Cooper Rush still playing. Who knows if they'll actually give Dak the starting spot?
I don't think they are. Oh, wait, not this week.
Not this week, but I'm saying when he comes back.
Absolutely, it's his team. This has been so blown out of proportion. Cowboy fans.
Okay, but what if Cooper Rush wins this game?
Cooper Rush isn't winning this game.
Well, I have Philly, but I'm just saying, what if he does win this football game?
Well, it depends on how they win the game. What if they win the game 21-17?
Still a
win.
And
and the defense gets a touchdown? Because Dallas's defense has been balling.
Who knows? You paid him a lot of money, so he'll probably go there.
Okay, if Cooper Rush goes out and throws 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, you might have a quarterback controversy. You don't right now. Who is Dallas? Let's look it up. Who's Dallas play? Just because I'm
the Bucs, the Rams.
Just because I can't, it's hard to remember all this. So, Dallas' schedule.
The Giants.
They lost to the Bucs. It's a formidable loss. They beat the Bengals. At the time, that was a good win. Now it's just kind of you beat the Bengals.
I'd still say it was a good win.
They beat
the Giants.
You won on the road versus the Giants with. I just don't think Daniel Jones is that good. He's just.
I have no comment. We lost to him.
He's not that good. You lost to them because the Packers quit doing what they were doing in the first half. You beat the Commanders. Wow. Good.
Yeah, Commanders are
and
bad.
Then you won at the Rams, which
they dominated that game.
Okay, so they've won. I can't say they haven't won some decent games. They have, but we need to slow it down on they got a quarterback.
But they're winning with this guy. Is it not the same thing as when Dak came in for Romo?
Well, the Dolphins are winning with Tua.
Wait, what? Yeah, Tua's the starter, and Tua's
Yeah, but
not there.
a lot of people think Tua's terrible and that the Dolphins are it's a fluke. I don't. But do you?
No, I think the Dolphins could be good once Tua comes back.
So you think Tua's good. There's no quarterback controversy down there.
No, not with Bridgewater and Thompson back
Okay,
there.
well,
no.
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of things going around with Tua.
Well, that's how it's been since he came into the league. But
like you said, they win with him.
Yeah, they're winning with Cooper Rush.
So I don't know.
Maybe if they win, Cooper Rush undefeated, if they win again this week, and let's say that Dak comes back and Dak plays whoever they play the week after, which I don't know, but if Dak plays against that
Why
team.
didn't I look? They have Detroit.
Okay, if Dak comes back and loses to Detroit, who Detroit has one win and they have the worst defense in the NFL.
But they also put up 40 points a game almost.
Yes, but they have the worst defense in the NFL, and the Cowboys have one of the best. If Dak loses that game, then I think you definitely have a controversy there with quarterback.
You do.
There's no, I mean, you can't do that. You can't come back. And I actually think Dak is feeling the pressure. Seen a video of him last night in the locker room. And
so we got Philly. I think
he's feeling the pressure.
Here's what I think happens. I think Philly wins. I think the Dallas hype gets slowed down a little bit. I don't think Cooper Rush has a baller out game. He's not going to outplay Jalen Hurts. There's just absolutely no way. I think Dak starts next week, and I think he beats Detroit, and it's off with the rest. You have a good backup. That's what it is. It's a good backup.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have had their backups come in and win games. I mean, look at Fitzpatrick last year.
Dog.
But the Dolphins were, I mean, they played the same with Tua as they did with Fitzpatrick. They won games.
Yeah. All right. So we both got Philly. We'll move on to Monday night.
Philly.
All right. Monday night, Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett, who do not seem to be gelling very well right now, at LA against Justin Herbert and that offense.
Chargers. Easy. All day. Not even close.
A part of me really wanted to take Denver. I'm a big like thinking there's going to be a bounce back game, but I'm taking LA.
You can't tell me you've watched Denver for 6 weeks or 5 weeks and tell me you're going to take them on the road at the Chargers.
I just said I was taking the Chargers,
no, I know,
but I thought about it.
You wanted to. There's just no way.
I kind of did want to. And part of it's probably because my fantasy team and Jerry Judy.
All right, so we also both would have taken Washington, by the way.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about that game for like 30 seconds. How did you think Justin Fields played? Did you watch it?
I watched part of the game. I thought that he looked good at times. The throw down at the goal line where he threw it off of a guy's helmet.
Well, no, that got deflected.
No, that hit the guy in the helmet. That hit the guy no, but he threw it and it hit a guy in the helmet. That's why it went up in the air. I watched the replay.
Oh, the interception? I thought it got deflected.
That's what I thought too, but he threw it right in the guy's helmet. So anyways, that's just tough. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's his fault. I mean, that happens to a lot of quarterbacks, really. The second time when they should have won the game on the throw to Mooney, that was actually a good placed ball, and Mooney's got to come out and catch it with his hands, which he tried to do, but he didn't. I would say he showed some good things. I mean, I've seen a lot of bad from Fields too this year, so I'm not going to say that, I love the guy, because I don't.
I think that Justin Fields is playing with a bunch of scrubs. I'm one of those Bears fans. I'm not a Bears fan, but I'm one of those in that category. I think that he's a very electrifying quarterback. I think he ran out of bounds last night, and I think that lost him the game because I think he could have scored. He ran out the 5, and I don't see how that if he takes another yard and puts the ball over.
I was driving home.
He's a pretty tall. He's not a short quarterback. If he jumps and extends, now I know everyone said, well, it's 1st and goal at the 5. Well, how'd that turn out? Score when you got the opportunity. Don't think about you're going to have 4 plays to get 5 yards because a lot of teams don't. Because when you get in the red zone, it's so much easier to cover wide receivers, and you have to rely on your running back. Well, they didn't have any timeouts, and there was 40 seconds left. They really couldn't run the ball. They maybe could have ran it once.
I will say though that Herbert had that huge play at the beginning of the game. Where he cut back and went for 80 yards,
and they didn't score again.
Washington looks bad.
Washington's
They were dropping
awful.
everything. Washington
Carson
probably could have
Wentz,
put up 20
I
points.
can't believe they left him in the game because he couldn't make a throw to save his life.
After he got hit and he was doing all that with his hands.
He was missing guys behind him. He was missing them in front of him, and then when he did get it to him, they dropped him. He did
have one really nice throw to Samuel that would have been a touchdown. He dropped it.
And that Fields and that tight end, that was miscommunication. Absolutely no. Fields needs to hit that throw 11 out of 10 times.
The throw. Oh yeah, that was bad.
That was terrible.
That was awful. All they had to do was loft it.
Now,
you don't see guys like Rodgers or Brady missing those throws.
No, but that's okay. It's his second year. I don't think there's a quarterback controversy. I think Justin Fields is the guy.
Well, there's not.
No, just because they don't have anybody
start all
else.
year. I mean,
I think that he's even going forward next year. He's shown to me that there's reason to want him because he's like Lamar Jackson when he runs the ball. You think you got him, and then fuck, you don't. There he is 10 yards down the field, and then he runs past your secondary because nobody knows how to tackle anymore. So, yeah. I think the Bears are also a lot better than people give them credit for. They have not really gotten blown out yet.
The Bears have a good defense. The problem with the Bears is they haven't done anything to help Fields.
No, they haven't. They've never helped their offense.
They have no wide receiver ones. They have nobody on that offense who is electrifying besides Fields.
You know what I'm so sick of?
Maybe one of the running backs, but he has nobody to throw to, and the line is bad.
I'm just so sick of like
He's been sacked 23 times this year.
He holds on to the ball. He's like a Ryan Tannehill.
He does.
He holds on to the ball way too long sometimes. Sometimes you don't have enough time and you have no choice but to hold on to the ball and take a sack, which is good. Wrap it up and don't fumble it. But I will say this. I don't like the people that are saying collegiate teams could beat someone like a lot of people last week, because what Chicago does is when Chicago loses big games, people freak out and say dumbass shit. No. These receivers are in the NFL, and there is no collegiate team that would beat any NFL team. Done. Discussion over. I don't care who you are. Argue with me. I won't even argue back with you because it's a stupid statement. So who's the best college team right now in your eyes? Alabama or Georgia?
Well, if Bama has Bryce Young, I'd take Bryce Young in Bama.
Okay, so you think Alabama's the best team in the country. That's fine. So do you think Alabama can beat the Chicago Bears?
A healthy Alabama team? No, well, no, not the Bears.
A
few years ago, I would have liked to believe that there was a team that could have beat. I think the Jets were just terrible in 2020.
But these defenses in the NFL, they would go to these colleges.
Yeah, these teams would not put up 40
The
points.
defenses, maybe they would score because obviously, sure, a 19-year-old can burn a 29-year-old. He's probably faster than him. Sure, it can happen. But these defenses up front are just as big as these college guys.
They're all Alabama and Georgia guys.
Right. They've all played in the – I just don't understand the comparisons. It's just stupid. And no, these wide receivers on Ohio State, like I hear people saying, it's 6 weeks into a college football season, and you're saying they'd start in the NFL?
There are some guys on Saturdays who would start in the NFL at wide receiver.
Right.
Because they're going to be drafted and they're going to start
Yeah. But let's not forget that all these other wide receivers were just as good as these guys in college because they got drafted.
Yeah, they got drafted, but a lot of these guys on Ohio State are going to go in the first round.
Whatever.
No, I agree. I agree that the college team would not be an NFL team.
I just hate that.
But there's a lot of guys on Saturdays who would start in the NFL right now. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, there is, for sure. But
there's a lot of wide receivers in the NFL who I would love to have on my team right now. And I'm not saying they'd start over. They might not start initially, but on the Bears, at least one of those guys definitely
Mooney's
starting.
a good wide receiver. You people can say what you want. He's a number 2. He's the Bears' number 1, but he's the number 2 or 3, which that's pretty good. That's a Jalen Waddle. So,
okay, Jalen Waddle is better than Darnell Mooney.
I think but I think Jalen Waddle needs his quarterback back because I think Jalen Waddle and Tua have a connection, and we can see that last week. All Skylar Thompson wanted to do was throw it to Tyreek Hill. So Tua needs his Tua. Yeah, but Tua was also throwing.
The Dolphins need Tua back.
They need Tua back. And if they go 3-3, I will say this: if they go 3-3 and they lose this week, I don't think it's time to blow it up. I don't think it's that time yet because I think Tua does come back And if Tua's not back, I think you can beat the Steelers with Teddy Bridgewater, and then I think Tua comes back for your game in Detroit for Chicago. I still think the Dolphins could, even if they go 3-3, I still think they're a pretty good lock for the playoffs because of their middle schedule. It gets harder at the end, but they still have a lot of winnable games, and I think they're okay. I don't think it's time to panic, and like somebody said, the Dolphin fans need to RELAX. Cole knows all about that. Like, it's all about endgame. I don't care how you're playing week 1 through 6. You could be the best team. How'd that work out for the Dolphins in week 1 through 3? They were the best team in the league. And now look at, now they're middle of the pack. Well,
it's hard to stay at the number 1 team the entire way,
especially when you lose both of your quarterbacks.
But we'll see what happens. Just slightly off topic, but if Carolina's really going to get rid of some of their players, especially DJ Moore, I think the Packers need to be in there, and they need to get him to Green Bay. We need to get somebody in Green Bay. And the rookies, it is what it is. Watson's not playing again this week. If he would have caught that ball week 1, I think everything's different.
So we're talking about the Packers. So I got a question. I got a question about you. You might not know anything about it. What is going on with Brett Favre? Have you read into any of that? Did you and your dad talk about it?
I have not talked about that much, but I guess he donated money to his college, to his alma mater, and something happened to where he didn't show up maybe for something, and then the money went somewhere where it wasn't supposed to.
So that's his fault?
I have no idea what happened.
So what are you for? You think
I don't have an opinion.
You think he's bad?
I don't know what happened.
Is he still your savior?
No. I grew up more on Aaron Rodgers than I did.
What does your dad say?
I haven't talked to him about it with him.
Well, you ask him and get back to me.
All right.
Because I respect his opinion.
But I think the Packers need to start running the damn ball and let Bakhtiari play the whole game. Go with a substitute and shit. This isn't the NBA. You pay the guy almost $40 million a year. He's back. You can tell he's visibly pissed off on the sidelines each time you pull him off the field. Let the guy play.
Oh, here's other Packer news. Rumblings are that Rodgers is retiring after this year. Did you hear that?
Nope. But it is what it is. We knew it was coming.
How old is he?
30.
I think he's 39.
38, I think he's 38. But it is what it is. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers is 38, but he turns 39 this year. So that means if he plays in the next year, he would be 40.
He'll probably, it depends what happens this year. If they win a Super Bowl, he'll retire. I don't think the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't think the Packers.
We'll be lucky to get a wild card spot the way we're going.
Stop.
That's how I feel.
They have They have one of the best 1-2 in the league with running backs, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, and they don't use them.
That's what I'm saying.
Their coaching is terrible.
Well, that's when you have Aaron Rodgers, you get a big head. You think, well, I got to let him make all the plays. I think they need to get back to the, run first, pass second. Because when you run, it opens up the pass. Obviously, a lot of people know that. My dad told me that for my whole life. The run opens up the pass. And the Packers have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones.
Run the damn ball.
Run the ball. Because it's going to open up. It's going to open up.
And here's the thing. The Packers should not – they took so many deep shots in the second half of that game against the Giants. All they needed, they were up.
So what does that do? What does that do?
The ball.
Yeah,
nothing.
It stops the clock, and it prolongs the game.
They looked fine when they were doing short passes that were pretty easy completions, especially for Rodgers. If you're not going to run the ball, then it should be a short pass every single time between 5 to 10 to 15
But you know
yards.
what? I don't
should
like
not be deep shots.
First off, screw London. Appreciate the fans. We love you, but I'm done with London. I hate going over there to play the Dolphins. Play like shit every time. It takes like 12 hours. It takes like 9 hours to get there. It's done. And the games are always stupid games, like double doink where Minnesota loses or wins.
Yeah, it was Minnesota.
That's why it would not shock me to see Atlanta beat San Francisco, because those games over in London are stupid and crazy. Done with London. Done with losing a home game over it too.
Well, now they're adding
the season ticket holders. The season ticket holders should be irate and stop getting them, because you lose a home game, you lose $200 that you pay, which when you add that up into a year, like how much do season tickets cost? $10,000?
I don't know. I don't know the exact number, but a lot.
Done with the games. Like stick to this is the NFL. Like if they want to come, they need to fly over here. What are we doing trying to?
They're trying to be a global game,
But it's Those fans are still going to watch.
Especially the games, the NFL, you play a week-to-week basis, and it's so physically demanding that it's hard to travel across, and then they got to travel back, and the Packers might look bad on Sunday.
Oh, no.
They might be tired.
And I'm telling you what, Thursday Night Football, done. Needs to be done. It's stupid. There's no point in it. There's just it's absolutely asinine to have a Sunday night game and someone be hurt and then have to practice Monday. And then you got to fly. You probably fly out Tuesday to go to where you're going.
I'm okay with Thursday week 1.
I don't like Thursday night
I'm okay
games.
with Thursday week 1 because
well, if you're going to do it,
if you do it week 1, then yeah, or you do it when they're coming off a bye week.
Just don't do it at all. Why do we need Thursday Night Football?
Back to London, they're going to be going to Germany.
Who?
The Bucks and somebody else are playing in Germany in a few weeks.
So stupid.
It doesn't help the teams at all. I think it really affects them, gets them out of their rhythm. It
like
takes away a home
the Cubs got to play the Cardinals next year in where's it at? In London.
Is it really in
London?
London?
The Cubs have a 3-game series where the fucking Cubs lose 3 home games, have 2 home games because it's a 2-game series in London.
I will admit the field looked nice.
But like in baseball, like you don't have a whole week off.
Yeah,
so
you're
like
playing day.
So like you're gonna fly back the day that then you gotta play the next day. Fucking stupid. It's so stupid. I don't care if Cub fans are gonna fill up that ballpark in London because I know they will. I don't care. Done with London. Done with Thursday Night Football. We need Monday, Sunday, and that's it. Go back to old school. People watched. The numbers didn't go up because of Thursday Night Football. If anything, everybody's irate.
People are still watching Thursday Night Football.
Well,
as bad as it is,
everyone's going to watch.
Everybody's still going to watch it, but it's bad.
Your team. But a lot of people also want to do away with Thursday Night
And there's
Football.
actually a lot of people, especially the older generation, a lot of them don't have Prime Video.
That don't get me started.
Either that or they don't know how to get it on their
I'm
TV. And just them being Bears fans, they probably didn't even watch this week.
No. The Bears, if you lived in Illinois, the Bears televised the game on Fox. I watched it on Fox.
Oh, really?
They do that. When the Dolphins played Cincinnati, the whole state of Florida televised the game on one of their stations.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So but that's just the state.
But
There's
like if you're
thousands
a Green Bay
of other
fan, you live in
fans.
Illinois, the only way you can watch it is if you have Prime.
And then you're behind. You're a player 2 behind because it's just the live. The live's not. It's stupid. Fuck you, Amazon. Done.
Well, the NFL Sunday ticket package is going to be sold after this year, and I'm pretty sure Apple TV is going to be the one that gets it, which I'm okay with because it'll do well for my stocks. But there was one more streaming service you're going to have to get because everybody's still going to want to watch the NFL.
So let's talk
Illinois. I know Jake wanted to touch on it.
Okay, we're only going to spend a couple minutes on college football because Cole probably doesn't want to talk college football. I don't blame him. Normally, I don't want to either. But
we'll just throw this up here. Yeah, Oklahoma sucked this weekend. They've lost 3 straight games. Their backup quarterback.
Seen that.
Their backup quarterback, Davis Beville or something, and then they had General Booty. I mean, that's the guy's name. They're running the Wildcat with our tight end and quarterback, which I respect Braden Willis, and I'm glad that he was able to come out there and do what he did. But I don't know what Jeff Levy is thinking. I'm surprised that Brent got 3-3. They started out 3-0, and they looked really good starting out.
What's their goal? What's their end goal?
Well, I don't even think you can win a Big 12 championship right now because you're at the bottom of the conference. So you got to win out. You'd be like, honestly, they need to win what? 3 more games to be bowl eligible. There's no way you win a Big 12 championship this year. So. But, this was going to take time, but it's tough to watch.
It's tough when you start out 3-0.
Yeah, and you look down. They looked amazing against Nebraska. Well, I know it was Nebraska, but they looked amazing. And then
you still don't think you're going to get demolished in the Red River rivalry 49-0.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, dear Lord, did they even come in the goal? Did they get in the goal line? Did they get in the red zone?
Yeah, they did, and then they threw a pick on a Wildcat.
So do they beat Kansas?
Well, Kansas without their starting quarterback, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that we're going to beat them. We've looked that bad.
I think they will. It's an OU.
We're going to have Gabriel back, which is going to be tremendous help. But
they'll get back on track this week.
I don't know. I'm still going out there in November. It's already paid for the tickets. We're still going to have a good time either way.
Who's going?
Me and my dad.
When is it?
They play Baylor November 5th.
That's cool. You're still going. So
Oklahoma City's a fun time. It's nice. Yeah. It's a quiet town.
It's in Stillwater.
No, but we stay in Oklahoma City and then we drive to the game. I'm saying there's a lot. Oklahoma City is a fun place to be.
Where is Oklahoma State located?
Oklahoma State's in Stillwater, but we're not going to that game. We're going to when they play Baylor.
Oh, I thought you were going to Oklahoma State, Oklahoma.
No.
I'm all out of it. Okay.
I looked into going to that game though.
So he talked about Oklahoma for a few minutes. I'm just going to spend a few minutes on Illinois.
Big win last Saturday.
How about when all of our teams lose, that Illinois is the team to lift us up? It's crazy. I love it. We don't get to see it a lot from the football program. We have seen it, but we don't get to see it a lot. They're 5-1. They're tied for first in the Big Ten West with Nebraska, who they play still. They still got to play them. Illinois.
Wait a second. Nebraska's tied for first?
Well, because they're 2-0 in the Big Ten.
Oh.
Or they're 2-1, like Illinois.
You guys got to beat Nebraska. Nebraska's bad.
I think they will. But did you know Illinois is the only team in college football to not allow a touchdown at home?
Nope, I didn't know that. Where's the game this week?
At home.
They'll probably give up a touchdown. Week.
But how impressive is that through four games at home?
It's very impressive.
And also, they've given up 3 touchdowns on the year, which is the lowest.
Yeah. And I will say this. Illinois is having a very great year, and they should have beat Indiana. They should be undefeated right now. And who knows what we're talking about if they win this game on Saturday and they beat Indiana, and they would have been 7-0.
Yeah, you're right. Who knows? I mean, you're talking probably a top 15 ranking. Right now, if they're 6-0, they're probably ranked like 17 or 18, maybe 16. But who knows? I think if they can beat Minnesota, I think they move up to like 17 or 18. But anyways, Illinois, listen to some of these stats. Points per drive, they're first. Points allowed rate, they're second. Touchdowns per drive, they're first. 3-and-out. Illinois' defense 3-and-out rate, they're third in the country. Red zone efficiency, they're first. So teams get down there, but they don't punch it in. Yards allowed per drive, they're first. And their pressure rate is second. Illinois is top 3 in every defense statistical category in the country. What world are we living in where that's possible?
I don't know. I'm surprised by that. I'm very surprised.
Also, some of these games, like they've beaten Iowa at home. They've won at Wisconsin. Okay, like say what you want about these teams are down, but nobody thought Illinois was going to be good. So for Illinois to beat these teams that were projected better, they're still good wins.
When do they play guys like Penn State or Michigan?
They don't. Oh, they play Michigan. They actually got a very favorable schedule because they only play Michigan.
I mean, if they beat Michigan and they get into the Big Ten championship game and somehow beat Ohio State, this is crazy, but
they probably get a New Year's Six bowl. They probably don't get into the.
They probably don't get in, but I mean that's nuts. If you beat Michigan, Ohio State.
Well, if Illinois wins out, I'm going to make the argument why they deserve to get in, but they probably won't.
Because Alabama and Georgia are going to be in, unless Tennessee wins this weekend.
I still think Illinois finishes like 8-4, maybe 9-3 is a possibility. 8-4, but I don't care. They're better than what they were last year. They're 5-1. I'm going to my 4th home game out of 5 this week. Tomorrow versus Minnesota. It's homecoming. If you haven't or you watch this, get tickets. No reason not to be there. It's 11 a.m. on a Saturday. It can be like 60 degrees.
Got work.
If you don't got work, there's no reason for you not to be there. But, yeah. And if you had to ask me who wins tomorrow, Tommy DeVito is to be determined for tomorrow. So I would probably lean towards the Gophers. That would change on his status. I would lean towards Illinois. I still think they could win with Art Satowski because I think their defense is that good. They can maybe get a turnover, maybe stop
Chase Brown playing.
Oh yeah,
give me Illinois.
I need to know what happens. We need to know what's going on with Tommy DeVito. They just came out today on the radio show and said he's to be determined, which is good because he's not ruled out. I think it also plays good because now Minnesota's got to watch tapes of both quarterbacks, so that's a lot more that they got to prepare for. So I would pick Minnesota right now, but that could change.
I'll take Illinois.
Oklahoma's going to roll. I don't really have any much. Miami's just doing Miami things down there. They don't know what's going on. First year under Mario Cristobal, just like his first years with, what's his name?
Venables.
So
we do actually have the 3rd ranked recruiting class coming in next year.
That's good. That's something.
5-star quarterback. So
you have to give these coaches more than a year. Because they're playing with not their guys that they want to run their system with. So sure, they were Lincoln Riley guys. Sure, he was a great coach, but it's not. This coach is going to come in and run his system, and Lincoln Riley's guys are used to their system. So and same with Mario Cristobal.
And you got a quarterback out of the transfer portal, and Gabriel was playing, pretty good. But it'll be different when his own guys get in there and the system's fully in there. But, everybody was hyped about Levy, myself included, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was Lane Kiffin was the reason they were so good at offense down in Ole Miss. We'll see. Hopefully they turn it around. I'm sure next year will be better. But
shout out to the Bulls. They start the season next Wednesday. Maybe if he's got some time early next week, we can do a podcast about the Bulls starting, because we are both very energetic about another hopefully fun season. Should be. Lonzo Ball may be coming back after the first month. Can you hang around and then you get him back? How about Ayo Dosunmu winning out the starting point guard? Still have Alex Caruso coming off the bench, so that's good. I think everyone's going to like Dalen Terry. Give it to about All-Star break. I think.
Is Pat Williams finally going to ball out this year? My God, he has all the physical intangibles, and we've been waiting on it.
Because he's slow. He's a slow athlete, and I'm just sick of people giving him the benefit of the doubt, which I'm going to give. He's going to get one more year from me, and if he isn't it, he got to go, because you got to get something for him before other teams figure out that he ain't that good. So I hope he balls out. I hope he's in conversation for Sixth Man of the Year. I don't know. Is he starting?
He might start.
So your starters are DeMar,
Vooch,
Levine,
Vooch, Dosunmu,
Vooch.
I would assume Pat Williams starts.
Ayo, and
I would assume Pat Williams starts at power forward.
He probably starts.
I mean, the guy has. I don't know why he's not good.
So he
should be good.
And then you got Javonte Green. The Bulls. Like I'm naming, the Bulls have quality guys again. Like this,
they still have Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty fun year again. I've liked how they looked in the preseason. They need to close out on shooters better. They need the perimeter defense has to be better, and they need to Vooch needs to get stronger around the rim. I don't know if that'll ever change, because Vooch is a veteran. He is what he is. He's probably not going to change.
Vooch isn't even a bad player. It's just that he's not what we need.
Yeah.
If Drummond's hitting threes off the bench.
And Drummond, we didn't even mention him. Like the Bulls are going to be good. I think they could be a top 4 seed.
I'll try to make it to a Bulls game this year. My first time since 2019.
Well, you're able to drink now, so you will like it a lot. It's fun. It's really fun. So, other news, the hockey just started. I think the Blackhawks are going to be the worst team in the league. That's all we'll talk about them. I hope I'm wrong. They're already 0-2. Yay. And then the White Sox, Tony La Russa's not coming back. Don't know who's going to be their manager.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably a really good thing.
Don't really have much Cubs news. I think something just came out today that they plan on re-signing Nico Horner, which I like, because I think I like Nico Horner as part of the core. I've heard the Yankees think the 3 teams are in for Judge are the Giants, obviously the Yankees,
the Dodgers,
and the Cubs.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we're gonna sign Judge. So
I don't think so either. But for Yankees,
I heard Contreras is gone.
For Yankees people to be saying that they think the Cubs are going to be involved, I like it for once. I heard they were going to offer Contreras a qualifying contract.
Who wouldn't like to see Aaron Judge hitting absolute dongs?
Well, because it would be like Sammy Sosa
just flying over. I mean, wow, that'd be exciting.
We don't know, but Sammy Sosa had 4 years on the Cubs,
60+ home runs,
64 times. 4.
One of them was like 70. Him and McGuire.
It would be Sosa all over again.
Imagine a Saturday game.
And Judge hitting them off the scoreboard.
Start.
20.
Judge just smoking them. 120 start.
Yeah, I'd be in heaven.
Beers in the outfield.
I'd be in
heaven.
heaven.
Snakes.
I'd probably be going
that.
Probably be going to 25 games a year.
We need that. I'd give him 12 years, $400 million.
How much?
$400 million, 12 years.
It's gonna take.
He's gonna get 400.
It's gonna take north of 350.
He's gonna get 400.
It's gonna take north of 350.
This will never happen, but I'd love to see Mike Trout as a Cub too.
I'm going to tell you this. What if you see Judge in the outfield and Ohtani as your number 1? Oh.
Yeah, but Ohtani's still an Angel next year.
Yeah, but he can opt out.
No,
Yeah,
he
he's only
already
playing.
signed it.
No, it's an it wasn't an
He
arbitrary
already
deal.
signed it. He's playing there next year. This
So,
is tomorrow. Next year's is
How do you-
last year. It already popped up.
no, it didn't.
Just E. I don't know. Just type it in. I'll figure it out. But it'd be pretty cool if Ohtani was there. It'd be cool if Judge was there. If Trey Turner comes,
that's another thing.
That wouldn't be it. That'd be nice. I don't know what to expect from our front office.
I've said this from the start, and I've told multiple people if they watch the video this long that I think this is going to be the biggest free agency in Chicago Cubs history. If this is the first time you hearing it, mark it down. I don't care. On October 14th, that's what I'm saying. I think the Cubs are going to sign multiple guys. I think we're going to get a front-end guy. I think we're going to get our shortstop, and who knows, some bullpen guys. Maybe they make a move for a good outfielder.
It'd be nice if we had
why not bring Kyle Schwarber back and let him DH?
I love Schwarber.
I love Schwarber. Schwarber hit north of 40 home runs this year.
Give me Schwarber in Chicago. Schwarber was always one of my favorite players. I want him back.
So do I.
And I also love Castellanos. But
I do too.
Who knows what we're doing?
But
I would have kept Castellanos and Schwarber over Bryant, over Baez, and I love Rizzo, so I probably would have kept Rizzo. But
you know what? And if you don't want to go that big route and you don't want to spend that money, bring Rizzo back on a short deal. Let him play first. Bring Schwarber back on a medium.
You gotta give Schwarber decent money.
Medium deal with great money, and get your shortstop and get a front end guy. So you got 4 guys worth Judge's contract. You could go that route too, and then we're competing, and who knows?
I don't know. They definitely finished the year out pretty well.
Yeah,
hopefully they continue.
39 and 31 after the All-Star break. That's great.
I think Ross is the guy.
I think he's the guy.
I like Ross. Everybody in Chicago should like Ross.
If you got that Cub team to play for you and play like that for what's 39 and 31?
For 30 and 30 is 60, so 70 games.
75 games. You got that team to play for that many games? Yeah. Impressive. So that's all we got.
That's all we got today. Monday, Jake, maybe do a live before the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah,
or during,
or if you wanna do a live before the Bulls game on Wednesday, we can choose.
I work Wednesday.
We'll have to do it Monday.
We could do a Monday live. Talk about what happened Sunday.
Yeah,
and we can talk about what could happen Monday, and then we'll talk about the Bulls.
Yeah, because I want to talk about.
So we'll do a live Monday. So everybody be back, and thanks for coming on.
ILL, we got the biggest game. Make sure to like and
subscribe.
Biggest game in the last 12 years. ILL, turn on your TVs, be loud, watch, support.
Join the live Monday. Everybody have a good weekend.